Well, hey, everybody, it's Charlie. It's Contractors Corners Consulting Group Live. Something like that. That's like a little bit of a tongue twister. Anyhow, it's Tuesday. It's May the 31st, 2022. Yep, still have to look at the calendar every damn time I do it. Don't know what I'm doing, but that's all right. We just wander through it. Look, I got Jeff. He just made it in. He just squeezed into the truck stop right before we got there.
Yep.
Chris, hello. Look at that. We got people saying hi, Chris. I don't know. Look, let's mess with it. Ready? Pow! Have one of those, Rosie. Pow!
I'm just drinking my coffee.
Cool deal, Chris. Type it up whenever you want to, and we will get to that. Because I think that's a good question. Craig Hutchinson, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. People are logging in. The numbers are growing by the thousands per second. Look at them all pouring in. Pow, pow. Okay, more like the ones per second, but whatever. CW, how you doing? Glad everybody's here. Oh, it's been a weird day. I wasn't even sure we were gonna have power. We got this crazy thunderstorm that was rolling over the top of us. I was like, oh, this could be fun.
That's why I started the last load of laundry.
Yeah, had a little flickering going on. It was kind of cool. How's our sound
Good
levels,
test.
Jeff?
Looks fine to me.
We sound good to you? Okay. Oh, driving with Bob. Hey guys, he said. So we're supposed to have a guest today. It's supposed to be Brett Stewart. Don't know if he's gonna be here or not. Honest to God, I'm just operating as if he is. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so I just got the fuel surcharge report a couple minutes ago.
Holiday weekend.
Yeah, holiday weekend. I've been chomping at the bit ever since. I'm like, here it comes. It's gonna be coming. Oh wait, it's Monday. Damn. And then all day long, here it comes. Woo! It actually came out early too. No, it didn't. It came out like right on time. Right when I got that severe thunderstorm warning overhead. That was great. Anyhow, you know what? Let's do this fuel surcharge thing real quick and get that out of the way. Then, if you guys have any questions before Brett maybe gets here, throw those up and we'll get to those. And yeah, let's see what happens. It could be fun. I don't even know what the hell to tell you. It's just, it's a Tuesday. It's the end of the month. Hey, end of the month. That's important. We should come back to that. All right, yeah, let's do that.
We will.
Pow. National diesel average is is down 0.032 to $5 and 0.539 cents. West Coast Pad 5 went up 5.053 cents. God, I can't even talk, read. I see the numbers and I'm like reading them right off the screen like you guys, and I can't say them. To 6.134. That brings our fuel surcharge to 0.727 on the national side. That's a change. It's a drop of 0.007. The same drop we had last week, 0.007. Although the West Coast fuel surcharge had the same climb, a penny. So it's up to 9 cents. So there you go. That's the fuel surcharge. Like I said, 0.727 and 9 for the West Coast. All righty then. Let's get back out of here. Oh, I forgot to take down my graphic. Failure. Dang. You know what?
Nobody wants to see those big bags under your eyes anyway.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it there to hell with it. Nobody wants to see me talk. There's me like, wow, there's this phantom voice and no one's lips moving. I see you. I know what you do. Oh, wait, that's weird.
Yes, it is.
That went somewhere dark and deep.
You and Sting.
Oh, man. Who we got here? Ken Kelly. Welcome back, buddy. Hope you had an awesome trip. He was out there in the island somewhere doing some cool stuff. Mm-hmm. Matthew Wright. What's up, buddy? Chris Springer. Good to see you. Roland. Nice to see you. Trucker Dan checking in. Here's my question of the day from Matt. Oh. What you smoking for a cigar? My regular ILCs. I got one that's kind of half out right at the moment. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm a little off.
A little
Dennis
bit.
Lewis, you know what? It's every day. I know. Good afternoon, Charlie, Boss, and Jeff.
Oh, I've been demoted?
Apparently, right?
Usually it says Charlie, Jeff, and then Boss.
I know, right? It's something. Maybe he's
on up.
prioritizing you higher. I don't know. Maybe the end is I don't know. Or it's gonna be Boss Charlie Jeff, Boss Jeff Charlie. I don't even know, Jeff. I'm not sure how we should take that. This is still starting to look normal. I don't know. Yeah, right. The high 70s. I'm digging it. I don't know. I hope it goes higher.
I'd be happy if it stayed there or more.
Yeah, look, I'd be content with it staying there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, in our career, Charlie, if someone were to ask me what a normal fuel surcharge was over the last 15 years, I'd say between 15 and 20 cents. So.
Right. So 72. Hell, let's take it. Jump in there. I mean, hell, it's ridiculous. Oh, who's that? Sean Holloway. What's up? Have y'all met Sean? If any of you haven't met this guy is a trip. You got to talk to him. He's fun to talk to. You'll be like, that's a Texan.
Yep.
I don't know why, but you're gonna be like, yep, he's it. He's the real deal, y'all. I'm just saying. And watch, he's probably from like Kentucky or something.
Well, he's headed to California. He's headed to California, so he's going to be taking some of that communist money this week.
Right.
Like.
Hey, get that 9 cents. That's what I'm talking about. Oh Lord. Oh God, he's an Okie.
Are you from Muskogee though? That's the question.
Right. I'm an Okie from Muskogee. I shouldn't sing. Sorry, I'm reading questions. I'm going to come back to you here in just 1 second, Chris.
Hey, I got my wish.
Okay, Jeff. Good afternoon, Charlie, Jeff, and the most important hello, boss. Look at that, laughing my ass off. That son of a whatever. You know what? Since Brett isn't here, let's dive into this little question here real quick, Jeff. What do you think? I think this is a good one that, we do have folks who aren't contractors currently who do watch the show, which tickles me and makes me happy. So he said he called a recruiter today. They're getting the okay from safety. What are some of the top things you'd recommend prospective contractors get in order first before making the transition? And I actually asked Chris to ask this question here so that I remember to actually go over this stuff. Jeff, what do you think's a good top one here?
You know what I'm going to say. My question is, what do you think?
Right. Well, okay. So Jeff's going to ask you. Look, Jeff's actually going to ask you, what's your why?
Yeah, why do you want to be an owner-operator?
Right.
So, you got to get your mind right first. Because in any business, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're selling hot dogs on the corner. You got to get your mind in the business first.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, Charlie and I'll tell you, there's some tough times in business. We survived the last big crash. We're doing pretty good this time. But if you don't have your mind right, Charlie, how many guys have we seen turn their keys in because of fuel prices this time around?
Oh my God, it's been and that's the crazy thing is I don't understand. And people did it. They're like, oh my God, the fuel prices are rising. I'm quitting. And they could have been making more money.
They didn't even ask. They didn't even analyze their business, Charlie. So their mind wasn't right.
It was just right. It was baffling.
So once you found your why, then we start getting into numbers hardcore.
So and being that you're a company guy now, I'm assuming you're a company guy. I don't know. I can't even see your picture. I apologize if you're a company gal or whatever. Look, you're a company person. Let's go there. You're a company person now, right? And you have a truck that is making miles and using fuel. So start tracking your fuel mileage. Start tracking how much fuel is costing by pulling into here on a regular basis or talking to some other contractors. You could get the weekly fuel surcharge rate so that you could add those numbers up into your numbers and be able to calculate that. And then I'm going to recommend that you watch 3 videos. And those 3 videos right here, look at this. Pow. They just happen to be on our little Contractors Corner YouTube channel. They're actually in a playlist that says new contractors should watch. And it's the basic fuel purchase guide, the fuel surcharge explained, and Let's Truck Gauge's basic setup and use. The Let's Truck is used to track your fuel mileage. The fuel surcharge explained, well, that's what it's going to do. It's going to explain it, and we're going to tell you how you should be purchasing fuel. Based on our experience and time doing this, this is what we've come up with. Now, the presentation on these top 2 videos, I apologize for. They're PowerPoint type deals, and I don't particularly care for the presentation. However, the information is solid, and I stand by the info. So, with that said, what else do you think we need to throw at them?
Just keep in mind that when you're running those numbers on your company truck, you're going to have to use numbers that are based on COM data.
Right.
Because we're not allowed to really divulge a whole lot with the other card that we use without getting in trouble a little bit.
Right.
Because it's not that it's a secret, but there's contracts involved for them. So use the COM data numbers. Just know that you're not going to pay that much if you do what we advise.
So you will be getting a lower fuel cost overall once you do make the transition. We get you set up with a fuel card and all that kind of cool stuff. And look, here I go again. I don't know. Chris is stating my main reason is to make the best living possible as a truck driver, being my own boss. Yes, sir. Company guy. All right. Whoop, whoop. All right. Here we go. Now I got a label. I apologize. I'm weird with these label things. I can't help it. It's not like I'm trying to be a jerk.
You have a label?
Whatever.
Oh, you're
guy.
You're a sir?
No, a guy.
I thought you were going to say something about you worked for a living or something.
I'm definitely no sir. That is correct. But I you know what? I just skipped right over it because I'm so over that right now. I've been having arguments with people.
Jeff. Hey, I finally found a squirrel.
All right.
I got to have Rosie ring me because Charlie's sure as hell not going to do
it. I'm just going to start going like this, like focus. Focus.
So, Charlie, tell us what your why was when you first started.
It's a terrible why, but it was a why. And that's why Jeff's calling me out on this. So here I was, company driver. I had a wonderful driver leader who, we had a great conversation the day before I started even driving with her as my driver leader. And I told her that I would be out 21 days and I would be home for a week. And she was cool with that. I told her I didn't need this job. I wanted this job. This is what I expected of her. I asked what she expected of me. We came to an agreement and things were great. So time goes on. I become a mentor and, all this other stuff goes on. We get to a point where now, because I live 107 miles away, they come up with a new policy which states you cannot take your company truck home if you live more than 100 miles from the terminal. And if you're going to be out of your truck for more than 3 days, you had to clean your truck out and leave it at the terminal in case they needed to let someone borrow it or assign it to someone else. And I said, well, that's dumb. I'm going to lease a truck just so I can take it home. And that's what started me on my journey. And here I am today telling you it's a stupid idea. And I spent a lot of money making a lot of bad choices and a lot of bad mistakes. But my stupidity, my lack of information, my lack of knowledge or business acumen. Jeff, are you impressed? All right.
Big word.
Yeah, we're here now to be able to help you guys because we can tell you all some of the big stupid mistakes that we've made over the years, and hopefully help you guys not make quite the same ones. I mean, it's inevitable. You're going to make a bunch of the same ones because, look, there's a lot of people on a regular basis that they say, hey, what do you think about this? And we say, that's a terrible idea. Please don't do that because if you do that, A, B, C, and D are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not maybe, they are going to happen. And there's a great example of that recently over the last couple of months with someone. Won't mention names. However, everything we told this person, and this person sought advice from at least three of us. It was myself, Jeff, and Matt Wright, of all people. Not that's shocking, but he was one of the ones involved. And we all kept telling this individual the same thing. It was funny because we would talk afterwards. I'm like, hey, did you get a call from so and so? We're like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, this is what I told him. And it's funny because all three of us told them the same thing over and over and over. And then they did it anyways. And all the things we said were going to happen happened. So, that being that, I mean, it's just you're going to make some of those mistakes because you're going to be like, well, I think I could do it better. Well, okay, power to you. If you do, great. If not, there are going to be those I told you so moments, and we apologize. No, I don't apologize for that. It's just it is what it is. I mean, we're all adults here. We're in the business, and that's just how it is. So we try to give you the benefit of our time and our own mistakes. And yeah, I mean, you do what you're gonna do. We can't stop you from doing it, of course. We're just trying to guide you through it and help you do better. But whatever. I mean, look, it's a funny thing, and
It
that
is.
person is upset with me lately, so that's fine too.
Yeah, we got canceled. So
Yeah, we got canceled, but whatever. That's cool. I'm not even gonna name names. Chris, back to Chris. I definitely want to look into the ES Advantage card. I get the confidentiality thing though. Cool. So yeah, when you get to that point, we will definitely walk you through what you need to do, what you're looking for, and all that kind of stuff. Hope driving with Bob said, hope for the best, plan for the worst. Numbers. Yes, that
yep.
is good advice. Hello, Eric Barnum, my buddy. How you doing up there in Atlanta? Hope everything's well. Trucker Dan says he's getting 10.22 on Let's Truck.
I would
That
love to
is,
see the
yeah,
screenshot of that app.
I'd love it.
So here's the thing. So when Charlie and I first started, the guy that had that app developed, he would literally on his radio program, if you told him you were getting 8 miles a gallon, he would call you a liar live on the air.
That's crazy.
And he was right back then in 2006, right?
Right.
Nobody got 8 miles a gallon back then. Well, now we've got these trucks with so much stuff on them that increases fuel mileage. Um, it is it is almost unbelievable, especially you guys that drove pre 1996 trucks. You probably think we're all just crazy
Right.
as it gets. You know, we lug our engines, which isn't a thing anymore, by the way.
Right.
But but like I had
And
a student once that had never driven an electronic engine before. He drove truck before, but he
right.
drove in the 80s. And so every time that tack would get below about 1200, he would literally like his knee would start bouncing because he'd start getting nervous.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, no, that's not a thing in this truck.
Oops, that was the wrong button.
So as things evolve, you know, it's pretty amazing.
It really is. But
the reason I wanted Charlie to give up his why is because for someone like me, that's like, what were you thinking? I mean, it is a why though.
right.
He had a clearly stated why.
Oh, it was an absolute why.
My why has always been just a love of the game. I love numbers. I love business. This is not my first business. This is my most successful business, but it's not my first business. So you have these two extremes. Both are valid. It doesn't matter what your why is.
Right.
Just have one, write it down, and look at it. You know, this is my why. I need to make this much money for my kids. That's a good why that a lot of people have. I want to go home whenever I want. That's another why that a lot of people have. There is no wrong answer to this.
It just needs to be a clear thing. And you know what? That why can change as you go. You know, why are we still in it? Why am I here today? Look, this week, these last 2 weeks, Jeff could tell you, I have not been pleasant. Like I have not been pleasant. I am just in a funk. I've got a bad shoulder, and it's causing major issues for me in my back and my neck. So I've been grumpy because of that, and sleep and blah, and loads and freight, and oh my god, it just all stacks up. And I'm telling you, I was like, I don't even know
Here's how
why I'm
bad it
here.
was. Charlie could have gotten a load that paid $10,000, only went 2 miles, and he would have complained about it last week.
Absolutely, I would have been pissed about it still. Seriously, you know what, Sean? You should share your why, man. Absolutely, throw it up there, dude. Because I look, we may laugh with you, brother, or we may cry. I don't know, but I think it's important for people to know that there is no one why. You know what I'm saying? And oh gosh, look at that, Sue. Sue is here. Hey, Sue. Hey. We got to get her in here. I need to have a block of her in here and just see her face. And she's like, listen here. And she can have an intense face, or she
Uh,
can just have this
Can I
bright,
can I
smiley
take a
face.
guess on Sean's why? Because he's a Texan. I'm pretty sure that he has a collection of firearms that costs a little bit of money to maintain. I
Hey,
bet, I bet that's what it is.
I dig
Yes,
it.
Matthew, right? We know that your why is motorcycle parts.
Right?
Everybody knows that after your trip.
Just throwing it up there.
Would you get Chris to PM you?
Sue, I'm going to let you see what you typed and translate. Um, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't
So
help it.
something came up. One of the hot topics in the group, Charlie, that I did want to touch on
Uh-huh.
is this video of the Pilot Flying J CEO talking about his
Oh, right.
problem getting fuel, and not what you guys might be expecting. What came up with this whole long thread about our jobs are over, this, that, the other thing, right? And Charlie and I discussed this a little bit um, between the two of us. And here's the thing, guys: you're in business, right? We are business owners. So let's say that in 10 years, that all of this tinfoil hat stuff that everybody just kind of shakes their head at actually happens.
Right.
Um, they have actually implemented their little plan, and all of a sudden diesel fuel is outlawed. What are you going to do? Do you want to stay in business at that point? Are you right now looking at, Charlie and I have actually discussed this. What would it cost us to buy a Tesla
Right.
to stay in business? What would that cost us? Can we make a deal with Swift to be the first owner operators to have an autonomous truck on their authority?
Oh, we've talked about partnering
We,
on that one big time.
yeah, the two of us, that's where we're at. It's not the government's going to put me out of business. No, the only person that could put me out of business is me and my lack of willingness to change. So there will be solutions no matter what happens. Me personally, I'm really hoping that none of this bad stuff happens
Right.
because it's going to be costly, is what we're finding.
Yeah.
It's going to be really costly to stay in business. I still think it'll be worth it, if you got that why in your head, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Why are you in business? Some of you will say, yeah, that's not worth it. And that's cool too. How many guys do we talk to, Charlie, that go back as company guys and they're happier?
Right. And
I
that's
mean, who
cool.
cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? You gave it a shot. You thought you knew what you were doing, and you ended up. Some guys just don't like doing it, right? But I think that just the effort puts you far and above the average American. At least you gave it a shot.
No
So the
doubt.
question then becomes, how do we stay in business as they do their thing?
Right.
The last big one was that stupid PRO Act. And I can say that with a straight face because I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
Charlie and I were looking at, do we need to get our own authority? We were talking to Brett about, dude, the load board. If this thing passes, we need that load board if you want to keep us, because
Right.
those rules were going to be just terrible.
and they
for the
were just going to
contractor model.
absorb a buttload of trucks, man, and half of
Yep,
those people would have left because whatever reasons, and they didn't want to be a company guy at Swift, and that's fine, whatever. Too, I mean, it's cool, you know.
yeah.
Hey, Trucker
So
Todd threw up a why, and I think that's cool. One of my whys was that I wanted to have control of maintenance decisions. I worked for a few companies that weren't as concerned about my safety and maintenance as I was. They would cut corners, and that's a great
absolutely,
why. I dig it. And Sean said it was Harley times two, and then yeah, the other portion of
that's
that
still
was
very Texas, by the
right.
way. Just saying.
Okay, my why was to allow my wife to leave her job. She was starting to hate job being a 75K a year job. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
look, man. I mean, the money. Let's be real. The money is possible. The lifestyle is can be amazing. I mean, seriously, it's a lot, and that's fine. Um, well, I got confused by a different name in there, and so I mean, the whys are important. They're it's not the why that's important, but that you have a why, right?
Hmm.
And then we start dipping into numbers. Then we start looking at the business structures and things like that. Let's see. This one threw me off. I apologize. Good evening, everyone. Haven't started the test we spoke of. I still struggle with not just slowing down, but also potential money I'll lose. And my why, the financial and personal freedoms. Oh, that's what was his name? I can't think of Rick Jenkins. Dang it, there it is. I know my title combined cooking, but this is Rick Jenkins. Gotcha. Here's another why. Don Carr, my why. I like a challenge and learn through my mistakes and success. Win in this business, be successful again and control my future. Yes, I dig it. And Ken says he's still having trouble with AB5 guys, and more states are looking at that for a model. And you know, it's all still out there. I mean, we'll see how it all goes. Um, but you know, the fact remains we need to stay vigilant and you know be looking ahead and keeping ourselves in a position where if something like that happens, we've got options, and we're not you know jumping out of our butts to try and figure out what to do. So you know, Jeff and I are constantly talking about this sort of thing, and you know, we're constantly like, you know, what is it we're doing here, and why are what are we going to do in the event that happens? Um, Here's one. My actual reason is because I wanted to take control of my own trucking future to be successful and have something to call my own in the future. And that's a great. Another one from Todd. Why? Another why is that it's much more challenging than being a company driver, and there's always room to improve and get better. Nobody has arrived. Absolutely. Look, the day you stop learning is the day I feel like I'm dead. Right. Um, and it's baffling. I just if I don't learn something every day, and I don't care if it's something silly, something small, and you know, it's something that I want to do every day. I want to learn something. Gotcha, Jeff. And without that, I feel like I'm not living. So why am I there, right? So I don't know. It's a weird deal for me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but you know, I've got to be learning something. And so, you know, every day, and look, there's days where I have to learn stuff that I don't necessarily want to learn. Those are a little more trying days. But, you know, at the end of the day, when I've successfully learned something or I've made progress on that, I feel pretty good about it.
Hmm.
So, you know, I dig challenges and things like that. Cool, Dan. I'll try and peek at that when I get a chance, buddy. I can't do it right this minute. I got too many other things open. I apologize. Uh, Sean Holiday, he's throwing out a Holloway, excuse me, Holiday. Read this book, the Rhinoceros of Success. I can't even say that word. What the hell? Did you hear? I struggled so much with every word today.
It's
Whatever,
like you
man.
and Kummerbach with that penguin thing.
Oh my God. I don't even know how to deal with this right now. Hey, if any of you guys want to call in and throw us some chat on the phone, feel free to do so. The phones are open. Feel free to give us a pow. Oh wait, I covered up Rosie again. Dang it. Oh, look, that's even better. There you go. Call in right now and we'll make her disappear for real. I'm just saying, you call in and we go, boop, Rosie's gone. She's taking a call. And she's back. Anyhow, give that number a call, 813 live SEC or 813-548-3722. And we'll take your calls live if you so choose, or you keep typing them in chat. That's fine, whatever you prefer. If you are on a hold or if you are on hold on the phone, you can still hear the show, just so you know. We've had some people say, well, I don't want to call in because I don't want to miss the show. Well, you'll still hear the show there. So just saying. Again, don't know if Brett's going to show up. The last time he thought he was going to be on, he showed up at about an hour into the show because he can't figure out when East Coast time is. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to pick on him. I'm just saying, man, the guy's got squirrels. He's got more squirrels than anybody I know that get him. So yeah, if you guys got any other questions, hey Chris, I just want to thank you for throwing that up and interacting with us on that, because I think that's important stuff. For folks who are thinking about making that transition. Jeff and I are working on some things in the future. We're not going to get into those anytime soon right now, but just know that we've got some stuff we're working on to help you guys do better and help you make those transitions and things like that better. So yeah. I dig it.
Just understand, for you guys that haven't done this yet, the money thing, that's a potential. That's not a guarantee.
Right.
So, the main thing that Charlie and I will both tell you is that while you are stuck with a truck payment, I made more than a company driver even with a payment, but not as much as people would like to see.
Right.
So you got to think more long term. That 3 or 4 years of I'm going to have a truck payment, but once it's gone, holy cow, look at what I'm making.
Right.
It's a long term project. It's not you're gonna go pick up your truck next week and make $200,000 this year.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Well, you might gross it.
You might gross it, maybe. Nope. So if you focus
Chris,
on the fundamentals and start out with that in mind, then you'll be all right.
Hey, Chris, before I forget, do me a favor, send me your driver code in a Facebook PM. I'm going to get Sue in contact with you. She is a great person to talk about this stuff with also. She's an OOC out of Ocala, former fleet owner. Hey, Sue, Jeff keep asking me questions, and I keep going, well, I didn't ask that. Why would I ask that? Because I'm dumb. That's why. So Sue was formerly an owner-operator, contractor, whatever you want to call it, and a small fleet owner. Sue, how small a fleet were you running, or how large a fleet? I don't know.
Yeah, how many trucks did you have?
How many were you running at one point? I'm just curious about that. Cash flow, Ken Kelly said.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You really going to have to manage everything. I mean, you've got to get your personal in line to be able to keep your business going, and keep your personal going. If you take care of the business will take care of you. Okay.
Yep.
And if you don't take care of the business, everything starts going to hell. And it just gets so damn rough. It really does. And it'll start affecting personal life and everything else, and stress and health. And look, I don't want to say make business first, but make business first.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to find a balance. That's something a lot of new folks struggle with, finding a balance between making money and being able to enjoy that money and things like that. So keep that in mind. And again,
also, especially, if you have a partner, significant other, spouse, whatever they call them these days.
Right.
So I have a wife and 6 children. 3 of my children are grown, 3 are still at the house. So here's one of the things for you guys that are like me. Your partner, your spouse needs to be your partner in this endeavor.
Yeah, they've got to be able to support you.
I do this thing whenever I make a decision, even like when Charlie's got some crazy idea that I like. If I can't sell it to my wife, then I don't do it. My wife is not a business person. She hates business and finance and all that stuff.
Right.
But if I can't explain it to her in a way where she's comfortable with taking a risk, I don't do it. There's 2 reasons for that. First of all, we're partners in everything, and that's just how we roll. Second of all, if you can't sell an idea to someone that's not a business person, do you really know what you're talking about?
Right?
I mean, I could convince myself to do all sorts of crazy crap,
Oh, I do on a daily
but
basis.
selling it to someone else, that's a necessity before you make a decision.
So we have a perspective here. When I was thinking about making this transition, I was pissed off and angry and all these sort of things. And I went to Rosie. I'm like, look, I'm going to do this. What do you think? And she supported me. Babe, how did you feel about the whole transition from me going from company into contractor, knowing that I was probably going to work a little bit more, be gone, and things like that because we got to run the business. How did that affect you at home? Because at the time, you were still working at the hotel and things like that, running the house, and we had kids in school and all that sort of stuff,
It was scary.
right?
I mean, it was nervous. I mean, we had no idea what we were jumping into, but then again, that's how we are.
Face first.
Yeah. Um, so, I mean, it was just a little bit different. And then you had me running the books from home after a while. Um, but, you know, I mean, I it
She
worked
was she
out.
was
It
yeah,
worked out.
she was dipping her toes in the business side, and it wasn't her favorite
So,
thing by any means. I mean, it was not what she wanted to do. She's like, I'm kind of not comfortable doing this stuff. And I'm like, babe, I really need the help because I did. I just did. I was
yeah.
mentoring, and every student I took, I took them out, and I'm like, look, we'll run the entire training period in one shot if that's what you want to do. I prefer that myself, and so I was gone, whatever, 42 days, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it was, and then
Eight
I'd go home for a
weeks,
week,
3 months.
right? I tried not to go those long periods, but after I got a groove, we had a pretty set schedule for the most part. But
Hmm.
but then you have those weeks where you're like, oh crap, babe, there's no money because we made nothing. And oh, look at there, somebody got a phone call. Yeah, and but and those are stressful times, and those are the times where the person who's at home, your significant other, whatever, your seat cover, as some folks call them, if they're riding with you, and I mean, you've got to have a solid foundation there, a good solid relationship where you can say, hey, it's going to be tough for the next couple weeks. Oh, thanks, Sue. And Brett's stuck on a call, Sue just said. And but anyhow, so you got to be able to have that support, have that communication with your other side. And hey, if it's just you, power to you, do your thing, and that's what the rest of us are going to be here to help you out with the numbers and that kind of stuff if you need it. But when you have that family life, it's you've got to really manage that as well.
Yep. Sue had 10 trucks.
10 trucks.
There you go. So, I mean, Sue's a wealth of knowledge for us, and
Hmm.
we rely a lot on Sue. Sue has been helping out a lot, and she's talking to folks, when they're thinking about making this transition in. She's a good person to run things off of. She can, pull your stuff up and give you some honest numbers, and she's not gonna feed you a line of crap. I mean, Sue, I
Yep.
dig Sue, and the reason I dig Sue is she will tell you flat out, just yeah, with what you're doing right now, I would not make this jump, you know. And I was lucky that I actually had someone like that when I first started. Well, when I first tried to lease, and his name was John Caldwell, and he was Joanna Sims' recruiting partner. And the first recruiter I had was not a good man. We're not even going to bring him up. And I got John Caldwell to talk to me. Jeff had the same guy, and the first guy that is not a good person anyhow. And John pulled up my number. He said, "Man, look, here's the deal. With the numbers you're running right now, I'm taking your truck back away from you in 3 months. You're gonna be out of business in 3 months, simply based on the numbers that I was doing." And the guy was brutal honest with me. He's like, "Man, if you really want to do this, this is what you need to do." He said, "Come back in 3 months and show me that you can do these things, and then we'll talk some more. And so I took it to heart. I took notes. I wrote it all down. I went out and I busted my tail, and I came back and I showed him the numbers, showed him that I could do it, and I was willing to do it. And that's who I signed my lease with, was John Caldwell and Joanna Sims. John has passed. Joanna has moved on to bigger, better things. But it's just that, I mean, those people changed my life. And had it not been for someone who was just brutal honest and just really laid it out, I probably would have failed on my lease within 3 months. Like John said, he said they would have took my truck just based on my numbers alone. So having someone like Sue that we can bounce these things off of and really have hard discussions with, myself or Jeff and those sorts of things, then, look, we don't want you to fail. We want, I have this vision of 10,000 trucks in our division. People think it's a little lofty. I think it's absolutely achievable with the right tools in place and the right guidance. So,
And just someone asked about what the update on our training materials. Yes, we're working on some training materials, some written materials, and we're talking about doing more video. But make no mistake, part of what I do when I talk to someone is try to talk them out of it.
absolutely.
I mean, literally for years and years, Dana Nelson would have me talk to people, and I would bring out my accounting with them and show them this is what it costs to run this business. And if they even looked like they were scared of that, it turned into a very different conversation.
Right.
And the recruiters are recruiters, especially the ones like Charlie was saying, some of the ones we dealt with in the past.
Jeffrey, I can't. His name was Jeffrey. Sorry, he's gone, long gone.
Yeah. So you have to keep that in mind. It's just like your recruiter when you came to Swift, right? There's some things that they say sometimes that everybody's been at Swift for more than 5 minutes. It's like they told you what. So
that's crazy.
So you need someone to bounce real numbers off of, and that's one of the things we've done for years. And so some of our training material is kind of designed to make sure that you really do have a strong enough why to where you're going to follow through with the tough stuff. And I don't care if it's because you want your furry friend with you.
Yeah.
If you love that dog enough, you will make it work.
Or your best friend Jim, whatever furry friend you got on the truck. I mean, whatever, that's fine. That's you. You do you. We ain't gonna judge. Hey,
now I'm thinking about that episode of CSI.
Live how you want to live, brother. Live how you want to live. Chuck Berry said that well. I'm just saying.
That's right.
You live how you want to live, brother. Anyhow, so yeah. What's up, James Vaughn? Chris is still here hanging on to the conversation, folding laundry. Cool. And Matt, I wish more of the recruiting staff was doing that as well. And was actually, look, their job is to sell trucks, right?
Yep.
And if you ask questions, if you ask the right questions, they should give you the right answers. Most of them do, from what I've seen. Some of them come up with some interesting versions of it. But I can tell you that I believe Michelle Cantrell out of Greer is one of the most honest, upfront people. There are times where maybe she didn't volunteer something, but if you ask her a question, that lady's going to give you an answer.
Yep.
And it will be short and sweet, or not sweet and to the point. I mean, she is not a pull punches type person either, and those are the kind of people that I dig. Honest, real people.
She also makes facial expressions that I've never seen any other human being make. So just be aware of that.
Right, it's fun. You're like, did I piss her off? And then she smiles at you. And you're like, oh no, we're good. All right. I'm not sure how to I don't know how to deal with some of it sometimes. So I just don't make eye contact. That's not true. I stare at her. I think I might make her a little uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, she like when we were there doing that first video, one of the things she did was have one of her struggling owners come in and talk to us while we were there.
Yeah, and that was actually cool.
And
he ended up doing his own thing afterwards, I'm sure. But
yeah, but she was someone that she wasn't even selling a truck to. Right. She'd already sold the truck.
Right.
And yet she was invested in his success enough to have us talk to her. I mean, that's just the kind of person she is.
Yeah. And with driving Bob said, with freight being slow, I haven't been able to find my groove at Swift. So that I can understand that. Hang in there, keep talking and asking questions and looking for those freight zones. Some of it just comes with time. I mean, you just learn what lanes are running better at certain times of the year.
Hmm.
Again, that's it. Those are good questions in the group, in the Contractors Corner Consulting group on Facebook. If you're a member of that, then that's a good place to be to ask that type of question, because a lot of our guys there, will tell you flat out, here's where I'm finding great success. Here's where I have flopped on my face.
Hmm.
And Sue said that Michelle, she's agreeing with us on Michelle. So I'm telling you, Sue, Michelle, um, Jeff, and myself, Rosie, we will not feed you full of crap. Look, it does us no good. There's no benefit to us. Look, it's just not. There's no reason for Jeff and I and Rosie to say things like, "Oh, it's great, jump in." You don't hear us pushing for referrals, because we can only get a referral from someone who comes from the outside in, such as Eric Barnum in Atlanta. Um,
Hmm.
but someday he's going to be my first referral ever. I'm just saying. But he, but I mean that's not why we do it. I mean, it sure it'd be great to get referrals. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say no to it, but
Hmm.
that's not why we're doing it. We truly are doing this because we want people to succeed. We want the Swift owner operator division to, and I know this is crazy talk here, but I want to rival Landstar. I want to rival the biggest guys out there, as far as fleet size, with just contractors.
Hmm.
I want to take over the world. Take over the world, Pinky. And we're going to do some things, and I'd love to be a part of that. And so that's why we do what we do. Yes, of course, Jeff and I are looking at revenue streams from other avenues in this whole thing down the road, but that's not why we're doing it. We've been doing this for years before we ever even thought about the cash flow. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
we like teaching, we like sharing information, and we learn from you guys all the time. It's crazy.
I mean, a clue, guys, is both Charlie and I were mentors for a long time. It's just, it's what we do.
You know, so the mentor thing, when I first started as a company guy, I loved teaching. That was left over from the military. I liked teaching classes. Um,
Hmm.
However, I was thinking when I first started, hey, the money's going to be great, right? So the first couple students, I was out there pushing for that money, pushing for that money. Let's get the team and let's do this. Let's do this. And I started realizing that it was actually getting worse and more stressful. I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? If I'm going to train, I just want to train right. I want to know that the guy that I'm putting out, the gal that I didn't train any females except Rosie. But I want to know that the person that I'm training is going to be safe out there on the road next to my daughter, my son, my wife, my family, and everyone else. So I'm just going to focus on that. And if we team, great. And if we don't, that's fine. And when I backed off and went that route, I actually found that we were doing more miles and I was making more money. The money just followed the training. I've said it many times at this point. Great mentors aren't chasing money. Money follows great mentors,
Yep.
and it just seems to be the way it is. Maybe it's counterintuitive, but it's legit. I'm telling you. So I don't know how to say that any more clear. If that's convoluted, I don't know what to tell you. Um, yeah, Charlie wants to challenge Goliath. You're damn right, Roland. I love a good fight, brother. I'm telling you, let's do it. Let's take over the world, man. We can be great. We're okay. I mean, that's honest. We're okay, but we can be great with the right tools and the right support, and we get things going in the right direction. Oh, by the way, you guys, in case you haven't checked, those of you who are on the load board, it is back up. They had to reset it today finally, and it is back up. It's not showing very many loads right now. In fact, when I looked, it was 14. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little rough, a little thin. Hopefully that'll change here over the next day or two, and hopefully if we get bread in today, Maybe we can get an update there. I know he had some other stuff he wanted to talk about. Don't know if he's going to make it or not. But yeah, I mean, oh yeah, Don Carr said I learned a lesson last week. Watch loaded and
Yep,
empty miles. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Matthew Wright can chime in on this empty mile thing. Just saying. I'll let him do that on his own. Um, there's a good statement here. I've
Yep,
been very fortunate.
relationships.
Rick Jenkins. Yeah, the relationships with planners and have the fortune to always be always under a load. I think it's about the relationship a person makes. Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we preach is build these relationships. You know, when you find a planner who's working with you, um, then absolutely, you know, you need to get out there and you need to build that and build that list. Write down driver or planner codes and phone numbers and find out what areas they work and what days they work because a lot of these guys are on set schedules. You know, so you know, I mean, absolutely, you know, chase those relationships and build it. You know, and don't just do it for the sake of oh, I'm gonna make something off them. I mean, look, they these relationships will help you throughout your career. Mental slip cost me a reset today, so mental awareness is important. Absolutely, managing that clock and really getting focused on what it is you have, especially if you're running solo. Look, I don't ever have to worry about a clock. Rosie and I work 4 days a week, and we team.
Yeah, yeah.
It's impossible to run out of time. Like seriously, you know.
He
But
confined cooking. Remind me who that is again. I know he said who
Rick
he was.
Jenkins,
Rick had another comment down there, a little further down. When I decided to go this route, it spoke to me. Drivers all were successful until I asked them the numbers. Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, you're gonna run into at least two different types when you ask about the owner operator program. The guys that say they're making $1 million a year, and the guys that say you can't make it at all.
right?
Both are wrong. So, I mean, you know, in the investing world, there is a term, reasonable profit. You know, I think that what we're compensated if we're doing all the right things on our end is a reasonable profit. It's not, you know, CEO money. It's not rich guy money, but it's definitely better than what company drivers make. So
Sue's calling you out, Rick. As you said, we'll never know until you do it. Slow down to measure the profit and loss. Give it a shot. Give it a real shot.
oh, so
There's an awful lot of us saying it.
he should be slowing down on Thursday, according to what we talked to him about before, right?
Just saying. Good time to do it. Start of the month here.
And you
Uh,
know, you're not the only one because Charlie and I have been talking about my truck. My truck's getting older and it's doing some wonky things with the fuel mileage. And what is it that you've told me at least 10 times this week, Charlie? I need to run the numbers how long before I make a choice?
minimum of a week, but I prefer one full month, 30 days.
So yeah, it's looking like I might need a new charge air cooler or something. I don't know. But you know, he's right. I need to keep an eye on it for the next 30 days or so and then start diagnosing it if it's not. It might be something else. We don't know.
Right? Oh no, that man says
Oh,
stay in
here
your
we
lane,
go.
Sue. We got us a fight going over here. I'm just saying. That's it. We need Sue. We need Rick Jenkins. We're gonna put him at center stage here in the group. We're gonna let him go. Meow, meow. My bad. Anyhow, Hunter
Oh,
said, "All right, really? I don't see it.
oh.
I don't see a call. She says she has a call, but I don't see a call. That's weird." Anyhow, set goals each week. Hit them. Go for them.
Contractor's Corner. This is Rosie.
Oh, I got to get rid of her. Yeah, I don't know what she's answering because you know what? I don't see
You
it
don't
on
see
the call
anything?
thing. No, there's nothing in the studio.
Huh.
I wonder if somebody called her phone. Oh, wait. Now somebody popped up. Wow. I got a crazy lag going on. That's awesome. So let's see. Sean Holloway said, slow down. Oof. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. Ken Kelly, never underestimate the worth of a good accountant either. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. Rick's taking the month of June off. All right. So when you come back in July, you will no longer have that 70-mile-an-hour bug under your foot. You'll be gone for 30 days. You can shake it off and just start back out at all right, let's say 60. I didn't say 55. Don't go crazy. Come on. It'll be fun. Yeah, no doubt, Sean. I got Sue. I'll take 2 on Sue as well. And the complaints about the money I make. Well, hey, look, just understand though that your stance was that you felt that the money was better by driving faster so you could get more miles in. So if you really want to know, you're going to need to run a test, and to run an accurate test, I'm telling you, you need to start running at a different speed and try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, you guys keep saying 60. What? 60? Ouch. I drive 55, y'all. Just saying. It's not as hard as you think. It's a little difficult at first. Slow down 1 mile per every other day or something like that. I'm telling you, it's not as bad as you think. And
Yeah,
that
and
extra road thing.
there was a subgroup back when Let's Truck had their own social network that's now defunct because
Right.
Facebook, is the monster. But they actually had a group on there that called themselves the 54 Mile an Hour Club. And
Right.
there was like 50 guys just driving 54 miles an hour everywhere they
Yep.
went.
I
Not a
had a
single
driver
one
that
of
drove
them.
for me. Dude was 53 miles an hour everywhere he could go. It
They
was
they have
awesome.
a record of 0 tickets for impeding traffic. And keep in mind too that these most of the people that were in that group were not were either contracted to like a Landstar or an HVH or had their own authority. So they were not working within the social system. They were on percentage programs, and they were negotiating rates and all that stuff that we don't do at Swift. And they still their profit and loss showed better money, better bottom line doing that 54. And at the time, even the moderator of the Let's Truck was saying, "Man, that's just crazy. Even I wouldn't do that." But
Right.
people were doing it.
So I want to adjust this. So Sean said it's not about the speed. For me, it's the oops. For me, it's the unsafe feeling. So I can tell you that I drive 55 most days. On a fast day, we're doing 60. Like my Memphis to Lake City the other day was sorry, I got sidetracked. Anyhow, the I was driving from Memphis back to Lake City with an empty trailer. So I did 60, and I still got, pretty darn good fuel mileage for my truck. But I spend most of my time doing 55. And you know what? I'm actually a lot more relaxed. Honest to God, I am way more laid back and easy. I'm not having to change lanes to go around people. I don't run up behind people and go, "Oh crap, I'm stuck," and now I can't get left, and I'm stuck behind, and I'm angry because now I'm not doing my 70, and I'm slowing down behind this guy, and whatever. You know what? You know what? So I haven't been rear-ended. Um, I haven't been pulled over for my speed. Uh, I drive in Florida. I drive in Georgia. I drive through Texas the same way. It doesn't matter to me. I'm cool with it. Hey, I'm gonna put Matt up on the phone. He wants to talk about something. I know I can't help it. He's on the phone. I'm gonna bring him in. Here we go. Matt, what's up, buddy?
I really feel the love, Jeff. I really feel the love.
It's so much fun. Just like, oh, not that guy again. Matt's stuck on a dock, so he here he is.
Yeah.
What you got?
Off the dock guy. Oh, I'm picking up right now. And I made the dock guy mad just by asking for one less pellet.
Well, there you go. Don't tell them
Yep.
how to do their job. What's wrong with you, man? Crazy talker.
44,900 pounds to load. I can't do that with full tanks. Every time I come here, I have to come back here, back through the mountains of New York and Vermont, 70 miles to get from the closest cat scale to here.
You're
I'm
on.
tired of coming back. So I just asked.
Hey, Matt, what account are you on right now?
Yeah. Eastern Regional.
Look at that. So wait, you left the Northeast Regional Percentage Fleet?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Anyhow, yeah.
I know. I already missed it. I have the opportunity to go back.
But why did you make the decision? Because this is important. Was it just because you decided you didn't like it, or you didn't want to do it anymore, or what drove the decision?
I love the account. The way Swift does it, it's flawed. In my opinion, it's flawed. There's a lot of people who do great with it, who don't care sitting waiting for 2-3 weeks to get paid. But
okay, but beyond that, what I'm trying to get to here is the bottom brass nuts and bolts. What was it that made the decision?
Oh, freight shortage was the biggest decision. That with the empty miles, with the current freight shortage and the amount of empty miles I'm going, that was
it wasn't when
at that point.
There we go.
So at this point, with the empty miles and
so what you're saying is you ran the numbers, right, Matt?
Yeah.
That's what we're after.
So
the
numbers are ran. It would have been great. I would have been like when I went out Vegas, met up with you guys. Going out there, it was great. Barely any deadhead miles. I was able to find loads, no problem. The loads paid well. Up in the Northeast right now, for the amount of empty miles you have to pay to what the loads are paying themselves, it just ain't worth it. So the money isn't there in the current market because of empty miles. I think what they said was the current amount of trucks to loads up where I'm located myself is 100 trucks to 3 loads.
Right.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's the little slice of New York, Vermont area, New Hampshire area I live in. That's the amount of trucks to loads there is. So I'm sitting here dealing with that. So I decided to switch accounts, give the Eastern Regional a try, and see how that does. So first load is 946 miles. It's 56 deadhead miles, which I've never been paid for deadhead miles before because I was right on target where before it was all loaded miles, and then it was percentage. Went straight from there to percentage.
Right.
So, but
Sean says,
when I was at Schneider, that was all empty.
Sean was saying he agrees every time he gets east, it's almost always a 200-mile deadhead empty. It can be like that. I don't know. I tend to.
So when
Charlie
Northeast Regional.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say with Northeast Regional, the amount of empty miles I would have was definitely much more than that. I had some days where they wanted me to deadhead 250 plus miles because there's just no freight in the area currently.
Right. And that was not paid empty miles. So, when you start breaking the numbers down on that, it took that, $3 a mile freight and really ate into it when you're only running a 300-mile load after 200 or 300 miles empty.
Right.
Hey, look, we got a guest.
And this whole.
You go ahead, Matt. I'm gonna get right to you, sir.
Oh. The whole thing is just my current opinion with how the system works is just fun. So the 15 days, like your fuel surcharge fluctuates that way. Like you're not being paid fuel surcharge for the current load with how the system's set up. So like loads where I ran when they were paying out 74 cents per mile fuel surcharge, I'm going to get less fuel surcharge now, even though I paid that higher price in diesel for those loads run.
Right.
Right.
So I paid that higher price in diesel, and now I'm going to get less money.
So everybody knows, Matt and I talked about that, and we dug in the contract a little bit, not in depth, but the way the contract is written is that fuel surcharge is based on when the load posts, not when it emptied out. So that's where the disconnect was for him, just so everybody understands that.
All right, Matt, shut up for a minute.
And
We got a guest.
I never caught.
Hold on. Mr. Brett Stewart, how the heck are you, buddy?
There he is.
Amazing.
I heard
Hello,
you had
everyone.
a fun call. You were wrapped up, and just to hell with those contractor corner guys. Nobody wants to hear them.
Dude, I just blame it on the time zone changes.
Oh, see, look, I said, there's a good chance Brett was just like, you know what? It's at 6 o'clock Eastern, and that's at 7 o'clock Eastern, really, in the real world. But in Brett's squirrel mind, it's not that you have a squirrel mind. I apologize for that slip. But in the clutter squirrel thing going on, it's just the way it translates. And I was like, look, it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah,
We're
throw
happy
me
to
a
have you,
text.
buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Hey, Jeff.
So we were just talking to Matt. Matt's on the phone there crying about something. Not really. I'm just playing.
Hey, Brett.
But
Hey.
and he was talking about the Northeast regional percentage deal, and how that he's now on the Eastern regional. He dropped out of the percentage deal after running numbers and took a beating on some numbers, and we dipped deeper into contract stuff and found out that the fuel surcharge was paying out on when the load was processed,
Posted.
not when the
Process. Yep.
process or post, and not when the load was actually emptied. So he was having trouble tracking and being able to adjust and forecast based on that alone. So that's something I'm sure we'll talk about at some point down the road. Just wanted to catch up so you heard what the hell is going on there. The load board is back up. Brett, don't know if you knew it or not. It was down for the last couple of days, and those guys got it reset back up. So we let people know that it's up. For those that are on it, they can pull some freight off there, hopefully, and do some things.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah.
Tomorrow we have another meeting with our new development team, and should have some more concrete information to tell you guys when you will be able to test that new version that we demoed a couple of weeks ago on your show.
Deal.
Yeah, so that should be connected now back to freight on the back end. So the front end's working just fine. It's just that automation on the back end. They've been having a
damn automation.
Yeah, but we got a new team on, and they're going to get us to the finish line a lot faster. Not to say that the first team wasn't great. They just maybe less experience on the AS400.
Right. So look, that's a tough system to work on because I mean, look, let's I don't want to say antiquated, old, very old system that it's not common for a lot of folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, did I tell you, Brett? So my best friend from college is a project manager at a software company. And I told him what you were trying to do. And he almost fell out of his chair when I mentioned AS400.
Yeah.
He was like, they're still using that? I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no wonder they're having problems trying to get things crossed over.
It gets the job done, honestly. I mean, it's just a little bit tougher to, connect and all that other stuff with some of the things we're trying to do now, but we'll get there. It's just one of those things. It's too big of a task to ever take AS400 offline and switch over to something else. We'll have to just slowly start to.
I dealt with the same thing when I worked for the phone company. They were on this 1984 mainframe, for all
that was the HAL 400.
Yeah. And they were trying to modernize it, and it was a whole big, it took years.
Shout out to Timothy Ransom. He's giving credit to my barber.
Yeah.
What up, CW801971?
We're gonna have to get your barber on the show one day. Just like, look, how do you work this?
Dude, I gotta tell you a not relevant story, but it's relevant to my hair.
Nice.
So I actually had to move. My barber just raised his $33 for a haircut. I flat out refuse. I'll shave my head. Like 33
Come to the dark side, sir.
Dude, he raised his rates from 26 to 33, stating inflation. And I was like, well, cool. As long as you gave all of your barbers $6 of that, I'll stay. He's like, no. I'm like, no, then I'm out. Like, wait, that's just greedy. What did scissors go up?
I'm totally trying to picture you bald. Like, and it's screwing me up. I apologize for that. I'm like, wow, that could be interesting.
I'll shave it off.
Oh my gosh, what's it gonna take, man? What's it gonna take? I'll throw in $5 right now. I'm ready. Let me do it. I'll bring the clippers.
So Brett was going to tell us something about trailers. Was that right, Brett?
Yeah, there's a couple of updates. I first wanted to ask you guys to check out a new site of ours when you get a chance. It's GoSwiftOwner.com. It's going to be a place that we store inventory on now, and just a way for current lease owners that may be getting to their end of lease be able to pick out a new truck. And then obviously for new owners into Swift, be able to envision the trucks that we have in inventory. Eventually it's going to have a decal package site to it as well, where you can, pick a truck, model, and color, and then overlay decals, cattle guard, all those other cool things that you might want to add. But yeah, kind of like a autotrader.com, but better, but just a way,
Sweet.
to envision. So check it out when you get a chance and let us know what you think. And but yeah, the other thing was, there was two things. This goes way back, and Charlie, you might have mentioned that I texted you a couple weeks ago, but we did listen to some of the feedback we had on the call about our owner operator planning line, where it was just Monday through Friday.
Right.
So go SwiftOwner.com.
So my bad.
That's all good.
I'm a big
But the owner operator fleet consultants, or our planners that support our owners, that line is available now 24/7. So it will roll over on nights and weekends. So please give feedback if there's any issue to that. You did it again, bro.
And that's
I clicked the wrong one.
Wait,
and that's
apparently
and
I made
that's
3 somehow.
And that's live now, Brett.
Yeah. So 888-246-5126. That is 24/7. Ken Kelly, we got it up there. Go Swift Owner. What else? Yeah, so trailers was something that was
now. It's actually really well built.
Cool. Yeah, and that's our kind of first iteration. I don't see too much. We don't want to overcomplicate it. The other cool piece of it is that you can chat live with a business advisor. So, and that's open just during business hours, Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. But there's a chat feature there. Yeah, so we want to start posting more of our decal packages and different trucks that are available today. And if it is gone, we will mark it sold. So, but we'll leave it up just so that you still have an idea of what's
as soon
available.
as I went in there, the little chat bubble came up. Hey, do you have any questions? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so go to lease inventory for me.
Yeah.
I have a question for you about that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like the possibility of like getting like cattle guards and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Now, will you guys ever again extend it to APU?
That guy.
No,
I
sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, I don't know if we will, but it's not. I mean, we can have a conversation around it for sure. What is it that you're asking? Like you throw in an APU?
Oh, if you would, for like an extra cost, be able to like purchase an APU through Swift like years ago when they used to offer it.
Click on one of those, the 2021 Kenworths. So the issue we face with that is that the same customer would default on their lease, and you never really make your money back on an APU based upon how expensive they are. But I get, it's one of those things we can look into if somebody wanted to pay for the APU unit up front, and we would just install it for you. But it would just be a lease.
Yeah,
we're like putting it on a truck that you don't necessarily own until you purchase it.
Just so you know where this question's coming from, Brett, we have a couple guys that just put brand new APUs on their trucks, and we're watching the numbers on their trucks right now,
and
it's looking pretty good for those of us that run solo and are getting up there in the years. And like I never used to idle my truck, but as I get older, my tolerance for the heat has just gone way down. Yeah. So I have to reevaluate, would an APU actually save me enough money to warrant the cost? And so that's where the question's coming from, is that we got guys that are actually testing the numbers right now.
Yeah. And totally would be happy to look into that. It's just kind of that the weird scenario where it's at least, we're putting on a pretty expensive truck. And what do you think of the color of that one, Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper.
I don't know the actual name of it, but it
Right?
looks kind of like Dr. Pepper to me.
I kind of like it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it, man.
Cool.
And so you got 21. So I'm assuming a 21 Kenworth is going to be on a standard type lease, correct?
Yes.
Versus not the MRP.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the typical MRP is going to be something that's out of manufacturer's warranty that's, over 400,000 miles. So you're generally going to find an older truck, like probably that 18 Freightliner's an MRP, those things, but it's just based off of,
yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, if it still has the manufacturer's warranty, there's really no reason for someone to lease a truck that's got double warranty unless you are that concerned, but it's like
Right.
paying double medical benefits. Just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And we don't want to put something in a lease that doesn't make sense.
Oh, look at that. It does say sold. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And we do have Volvos as well. We just haven't updated all the Volvos just yet. I don't think there's anything in there.
Nope.
Because those are kind of obviously few and far between. When we do get them, they are newer, they go quick. But the Freightliners and Kenworths are very attractive.
I dig it, man. It looks good.
Yeah. Cool. Appreciate that.
So yeah, definitely GoSwiftOwner.com, and that'll take you to the current inventory that you guys have available. It'll show you it's even a way to sign up as far as the leasing program itself, right? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Qualifications and all that good stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll throw, if you complete the soft app, it'll just send it to a business advisor and they'll be in touch with you from that point. But
cool deal. I dig it.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's awesome. That is cool.
Yeah.
So is Sue on with us?
Yeah,
we
made
she's here.
Charlie made a bold statement earlier, and I think this website will help with that statement. He says we want 10,000 owner operators at Swift.
Heck yeah. That's my goal. I know that's not amazing. Brett's goal right now. I'm like, look, we could do 10,000 in the next 2 years with the right tools put in place. I'm not busting chops. I'm just saying, I think that with the right tools and the right motivation and training and things like that, the things between you guys and us and everything else. I sky's the limit. I'm going to run Landstar out of business as far as I'm concerned. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's take over the world, man.
Slow and sustainable though.
Driving with Bob, how can I get added to the load board? Right now, watch this. Brett's going to tell you, we're not going to add anyone right now, but as things open up, we can add you down the road. Just keep an eye out and reach out then.
Is that pretty much. Brett? Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those right now, it's kind of pointless, to add anyone else until we get into the next phase of testing. And I think we have a good core group there, folks. And even as Jeff mentioned right now, I think there's only 15 loads available. So we need to add some more.
We've got 100 people on there right now and 15 loads. That's fighting.
Yeah, but Brett, here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow morning, there'll be 140. Yeah. I mean, it's just weird. Because I think what happens this late in it's being this late in the day thing.
Yeah.
Might be part of it.
Yeah, all of what's on the load board right now. Yeah, all of what's on the load board right now is just from our TMW logistics group. And that what we're trying to add that continues to fail that we're continually working on is the AS400 Swift freight that should be displayed as well. So once that happens, it's going to be thousands.
Then the world opens up and we start doing some stuff. Sue said, "Evening, boss."
Yeah, and CW's got it right too. I mean, the holiday weekend as well. Shippers are still hung over a little bit. So.
Yep.
Oh. What about combined cooking? Good evening, Brett. Can we touch on Zonar? It works great, except for those of us who drive after dark. The Zonar stays on day mode well past sunset. Can we get it to go dark?
I have noticed that as well.
So it's bright as can be at night, is what you're saying? The display
for
mode?
About, I would say for about 45 minutes to an hour after the sun goes down, it stays in day mode. Huh. It doesn't seem to be recognizing that we're, the sun doesn't go down the same time every day.
I will check on that and report back to Charlie and Jeff so they can get it out.
You would think there'd be a light sensor in there or something in the tablet, like most.
There is.
Somehow translate from there.
There is, and it works if you wanted to set it up that way. However, the navigation screen doesn't talk to that sensor for some reason. It doesn't recognize it's getting dark and go into that blackout night mode. It stays in the white day mode. So even if you turned your brightness way down, it's still. I just turn it off for about 45 minutes. I turn the screen off because it just glares at me.
Confined Cooking is Rick Jenkins.
I just
by
run
the way.
mine in dark mode all the time.
See, and I run mine as bright as hell as I can
went
get
into
it.
the tablet settings.
Roland said he tried clicking on a load, but he hasn't gotten assigned to his truck yet.
Yeah, hasn't gotten assigned to my truck. That's weird.
Have you reached out to the owner-operator planners and said, hey, I booked this load? Is that still a necessity? It's been a while since I tried to grab one, but that was a necessity at one point. We had to actually click the load and then follow up with the owner-op planners to get them to actually do the pulley transfer over.
Right.
Yeah, it should message them that a load has been booked, and then they can look in there. But as we're chatting, I'll message Jerry. So you guys know too. So Jerry White is one of our planners, the owner-operator fleet consultants. Yeah, West Coast. And so anything related to load board is being driven by them as well. So if you have any issues, call that same number, 888-246-5126.
And I've been talking to him off and on throughout the day on the Facebook load board group. And he's been pretty responsive there. So just saying. And I know Roland's in that group as well.
Yep. Yeah. And just so you guys know, getting back to that relationship thing. So Jerry is a newer to our program. How long has he been with us in this capacity, Brett? Like 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, so Jerry was a fleet leader for the Phoenix terminal, and responsible for all the independent contractors there for many years. And so he's very familiar, but yeah, new in the role as the fleet consultant 6 months.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So over the last 6 months, I can now call Jerry when I'm coming out of the house out of West Valley City and say, hey, I'm kind of worried about getting out of here. They're not sending me anything. And he will look on the board for me and we'll work through some things. And he automatically now says, oh, no, you don't want that one. It's going through Oregon. I know you don't want to go through Oregon. he just knows that because I've taken the time to talk to him and tell him what my needs are.
Right. What do I need? What am I willing to do?
The reason, Brett, by the way, just so you know, is taxes. That 23.7 cent per mile tax in Oregon is one of the reasons why I left Oregon. I sold my house and left. That it was costing me about $350 a month just to go home.
That's what I got hit this month for on fuel taxes. Normally I get like $20, but because of April, I was up there in Oregon and ran, up to the northwest corner of Oregon, up into Washington, then back down through Oregon. And oh man, I was like, what happened? And of course it was on a crappy pay week too. So I was like, oh, I got like $2. It was brutal, man. I was like, oh, what a perfect storm of crap on my face. That was terrible. I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying. It was a rough one. I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that one, but there you go. Hey, ups and downs. What are you gonna do? That's why I stay the hell out of there myself. So
yeah, Roland, Jerry texts back that you're all set and committed on that load.
There you go, Roland. Bring it up. The man makes it happen.
Do it. Yeah, someone made a good point too. We have an old stale truck on there that's not accurate, so I got to get rid of that Freightliner that was sold many years ago. So thank you for looking at that.
And can someone change the navigation so it doesn't tell me to make 5 U-turns, 3 rights, and then go straight? This is why. Look, I'm not even gonna pretend. I don't use the navigation. I haven't. This is gonna be great. Watch this, pal, because she's over here rolling in the background. She's like, "Oh Lord, no, he didn't." But yes, look, I don't even turn on the navigation right now because I just have no faith in it at all. I've got many other ways to navigate. I just don't have faith in it right now. I mean, full disclosure, but yeah, that is a great description of it right there. I'm not gonna lie.
I used it the first day that I got my tablet. And
I love you, babe.
Yeah.
Roland said, "Thank you, sir."
Welcome.
So
I'm taking a snapshot of that because I thought the navigation was fixed. They've been working on that forever.
Look, man, I haven't turned it on.
We have one guy in the group, and I have another friend that's a former student of mine that are on the beta test for that. Anything new coming out with sonar, and that was supposed to be fixed with that big push last week. I thought,
Right.
from what they were saying.
Angel Diaz.
He's the
Yep.
man.
I like that
It's
guy.
at one point too. Like I use Wise, that navigation. Have you guys seen
Right.
that Wise?
Waze.
Oh my Waze, yeah, genius. I'm like, can we just buy that or build
Well,
something similar to it?
It works great for cars, not
Okay.
necessarily trucks.
Well, mimic that, make it for trucks. I mean, boom.
So here's the funny thing, Brett. I mean, I know there's a cost involved, but it's got to be less than the cost to build a system from the ground up. We could purchase licenses from Rand McNally, from
Garmin, whoever.
Garmin. I mean, Truck Stop, whatever. The other ones that everybody uses. Sorry, I went blank right there. But Trucker Path, that's a great one. They offer licenses.
Yeah.
To run on your tablet. I'm just saying, but whatever. Look, I get that they want their proprietary
I
stuff.
pay for it.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely pay the thing for it just to have it working on the one system, so I didn't have to run 19 different navigation devices. But I mean, whatever. Look, they want their own proprietary stuff. Power to them. I just wish it was finalized before we got it. That's all. I can't help it. What do you want from me? I can't. I got to be real. I got to be real.
Charlie's had a really rough week.
It's oh my gosh, Brett. You should be glad I haven't called you this week, Brett. You'd be like, oh my God, this guy is something else this week.
What's the matter?
Oh man, I'm just
Hey,
hurting.
you guys take care. I'm jumping off here.
All right, Matt. Thanks, buddy, for calling. Appreciate you, man.
Safe.
Oh,
She's still there.
yeah. I'm gonna go see if they'll kick me out. That way I can still collect detention pay.
All right, buddy. Be careful.
Okay.
So, yep.
Bye.
We give him so much crap, Brett.
Oh my God.
It's just
we pulled
fun.
him in, and I'm like, I'm gonna bring Matt in, and Jeff rolls his eyes, and Matt's like, oh, what the hell? Heavy sigh. He knew it came right out of Jeff. It was amazing.
He's so good natured, though. It's hard not to.
Right? I know. So let's see. Narvik. Never seen that. Oh, yeah, I have seen that name. My personal name is Kai. If all goes well, I'll begin rolling next week as a contractor. I'm excited. Greetings from El Paso, Texas. I like Zonar, but I use it mainly for logs and pre-trips. Yep. I look, I don't mind the logging stuff. Honestly, I don't have a huge problem there at all. I'm just not a fan of the navigation. I just want something that I can trust and rely on, that's not trying to make me do weird laps around cities for no reason to put me right back on the same interchange.
What I love is when it tells you that there may be a difficult maneuver and you need to verify your route, but on the Zonar navigation, you can't do a turn by turn preview. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Like Turkey Todd said, I've got a Ram McNally GPS. Makes the same mistake sometimes. All GPSs are flawed sometimes, and that's true. But Todd, I can tell you that our Zonar log or navigation is something special right now. They are building the system from the ground up, and I get that. So this thing has you doing clover leafs at certain interstate to just do the clover leaf. I don't know why. It's fun. Look, I'll do that. If I can do all 4 clover leafs in one, I will do it just because.
But, and if you, for those of you that think that that's not a thing, all I can say is you probably have not driven in Dallas, Texas lately,
right?
Because they literally moved I-35 like 200 yards over, so none of the GPSs pick up on where the road actually is. It thinks you're on the service road.
Right.
So you get back to that being a professional driver, though, right? I've got my Atlas. I know where things are. So
my favorite one so far was get off the exit, turn left, turn right in a subdivision, do a U-turn, back on the interstate, go 10 miles, do another U-turn, go back to the same exit and turn left at subdivision. Look, I've seen something very similar to that, and that was when I quit using it.
Let me guess, Chattanooga, Tennessee, right?
Oh my God. Woo! Sorry, we don't mean to hate, man. We ain't hating.
No, I'm taking snapshots of this and I'm going to send it to Zonar. I mean, it's like, come on, guys, we got to get this fixed.
Oh, it's something else. But yeah, definitely pre-plan, take a look at your day. and know where you're going. I harp on Rosie. I'm like, look, where are you going tonight? She's like, I don't know. Let me look at the GPS. I'm like, no, you should know where you're going. You're gonna run up 10 west to 231, which is exit 136. You're gonna run out that way, and you're gonna make it right at that speedway, and you're gonna hop on 85. You're gonna go south down to 65 north. You're gonna run north 65 to 459 south, and we're gonna run over Tuscaloosa after we hit 20. Yeah, baby, that's the way to Tuscaloosa Target store. I'm just saying,
Been
we
there
might
too
have
many
done it once or
times.
twice.
Oh, yeah, busting Rosie's
I know,
chops,
right?
man. She's
Look at her.
awesome.
I can't help it.
She's so
But it's
good.
true. No, it's like legit. You got to plan your day and see what you're doing and make sure that what is on your screen. Oh, you know what? You're out of here again. That big eye roll right there. That was like around the world eye roll. She's trying to make me crazy. But yeah, so just plan your day and make sure that what's going on your screen is probably what's going to need to happen. And if not, plan accordingly, guys. Seriously.
Yeah.
You shouldn't depend on any piece of equipment. Honestly, technology, electronics, because you should know where the hell you're going anyhow.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, by the end of the day, you guys pay for a product that should work for what you pay for, right? I mean, it's not just the navigation for Zonar; it's way more than that. But ultimately, I feel for you. That's why it needs to get fixed, and so you know what you're paying for.
Right.
But I also wanted to give a big welcome to Trucker Todd too. We're shining up his Kenworth right now in El Paso. He'll be joining us, I hope, this week to the team. So
there you go, Todd.
Yeah, glad he's on with us, and I want to reach out to him to get to know him a little bit more. But that's cool. I'm glad he's on here.
Hey, Matt's finally getting loaded. He's been sitting there for a while.
We need to get him in the group as soon as he has that driver code, Charlie, because he's got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Brett, you can verify right now. Is this a done deal?
What?
Is Trucker Todd coded yet, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Todd, if you want to send a join request, you could look up a Contractors Corner Consulting group in the Facebook groups. Throw up a join request, and I'll get you approved right away, buddy. I don't even have to wait for the verification because I just got it from Brett, the man himself. Narvik driver, Narvik, do you drive over the road or regional or specific lanes? Well, Jeff drives OTR. I'm doing kind of a surge type dedicated deal for Target, and every now and then I step out OTR because I get tired of being. Look, I need this load board to happen, Brett, because I'm really burnt out on Target right now, but I don't want to go play out in the regular OTR world. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. I really want the load board. I really want to live on the load board for a while just to kind of do my thing.
You and Matt. I'm so tired of making money so easily. Like, can I get some more of this? Like,
right? What? I love the challenge, man. What do you want from me?
Come on. Yeah. I get you, though. No, I want the load board to happen.
James is doing well on Walmart. Let's see. Stop the payphone to call for directions. Exactly, CW. Back in the day, that's what we had to do. The phone bakes at the Flying J, the phones at the table in the restaurants. Oh, it was great. I loved it. Doing your check calls every day. That was
Mr.
fun,
Tim Ransom uses an Atlas. Absolutely.
What did that?
What?
Man.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in a little archaeology, you go to any Flying J or older TA, and you'll see a section on the wall that looks kind of messed up. That's where those payphones used to be.
All right, those things that they were
some of them
rectangular.
Some of them even still have the little rooms with the door.
Right. Oh my God.
Because you wanted privacy, and you'll see guys in there playing their video games.
Yeah, now it's weird. I'm just saying.
Or whatever they're doing in there. I don't.
Everybody wants the load board. Yes, we got you. It's working. They look. Hopefully, it's coming, and we're not going to yell at Brett too much today.
Isn't so penny loafers, weren't they created so you can keep change to make calls and pay phones?
Something like that. I don't really understand.
Are we going way back?
That was about.
We're talking about payphones.
I'm gonna tell you
that's
right.
Before that's Brett, before any of our time.
I know for a fact. Looking at Brett rocked some penny loafers back in the day. Probably.
I still do have a pair of penny loafers.
Oh my God, sir! I'm gonna tell you, I did not, because I was wearing Doc Martin boots, sir. Because I was punk rock. I'm just saying. Whatever, we still could have been friends. It's all right. Yeah. I had friends with penny loafers that rolled up.
Yeah, if you ever needed a quarter, and I had one in my shoe. I mean, man, I moved up from pennies.
For real. Oh, he was high rolling. He was like quarter loafers. So the trailer tracking technology was one of the things we were going to talk about, Brett. I know it was one of the things you wanted to bring up at one point. I don't know if you have any information still on that you want to talk about. We're getting all sidetracked. I apologize.
No, totally all right. But no, we know there's a lot of frustration around finding trailers and the availability of trailers, and then you get to a trailer and it hasn't had a recent inspection and all the above, right? Or you're told it was empty and you open it up and it's loaded. I mean, just a ton of different things. So there's been 3 major points that we've been working on for quite some time that actually went live on May 24th. And I'll kind of just bullet point those, and I'll forward you guys this email. So if you wanted to share more detail afterwards, you're welcome to do that. But the first thing was our auto moves. So reconciliation of our trailer. So basically, to break it down, what was happening with our Ace 400, which we've already decided is very old and antiquated. If let's say you emptied at a final, and then that trailer wasn't properly emptied or unattached, that's where our visibility ended. Like that, we think it's at Costco in Las Vegas. Well, really, the driver has moved it to Los Angeles. And then next thing you know, they dropped it there and picked up another trailer, but it isn't for weeks later until someone actually finds it and says, wait, no, attach me to this trailer. And we're like, no, it's showing in Las Vegas. Like, no, I'm looking right at it. And it's like, cool, go take a look at the plate. Tell us the VIN. Now we move it, right? Well, now with the power of technology, because they all have tracking devices on them, our system will look every 30 seconds to just ping the trailer to say, where is this trailer lat launch, and just move it automatically in the system based on the lat launch. So they're currently moving 12,000 trailers out of 56,000 per day to just like cycle through and clean them up. And so that's going to help tremendously, because those of us that are supporting you all out there have accurate information. So we're not
56,000. That's a number.
So that's like where the trailer hunt comes in, right? Where we're like, yeah, go here. This is where we see the trailer. We're not just throwing you on a wild goose chase. It's because like we're looking, of course, in this dinosaur system that this is where it's showing the trailer is.
Right.
And, those that are good with it will actually call that location before sending you, which needs to happen before technology. Now we have that, but we should do both, right? We would always call ahead to say, hey, Target, we're showing this trailer before we send a driver. Is it there? So anyways, that's going to continue to ramp up until they're all cleaned up and all 56,000 of them are running efficiently and actually automatically moving to their correct location. And then the second piece is the driver trailer solution by telematics. So and I'm just going to read from this so I don't screw it up. But so the solution is programming by trailer tracking and cargo sensor, and that's completed. So this is going to provide a trailer solution that's fully vetted by the tracking system.
Oh, nice.
So same thing. So now that we're reconciling them with the tracking system, when we send you a trailer to go for, it's going to say, once again, let's check on it. Yes, it's there. The DOT has been recently inspected and it's good to go. And then it will send it to you as a trailer move. So it's cross-referencing multiple things.
That's very cool. The DOT checking thing is kind of been a big problem the last couple months for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, was there some? And I mean, I had that problem in Phoenix when I actually came there with the trailer that I brought in, or no, the trailer that I picked up as a T-call. And I was like, wait a minute, how has this not been done? It came through the dang inspection lane, and that guy right there should have done it. And I went over and I gave them an earful, and it was like a whole thing. It was like, respectfully, but But yeah, it was like a whole thing. I'm like, how the hell? I mean, you just looked at this trailer. How did this not happen? So that'll be cool that it's actually updated because it's in the computer. I mean, these dates are there. So this is, man, beautiful.
I'm going to share my screen real quick too. So tell me if this works here. Wow, that's crazy. Here, let's show this. That was like looking at a mirror, 100 mirrors. Let's not do that again.
Oh, it's great. You want me to make that big?
Yeah, can you? Does that help?
That's as big as I can get.
Got it. So what you're looking at now is your driver support team actually can pull up a map now and just say, okay, show me all the trailers in an area. They can put in a truck number and say, show me all the trailers around this truck.
Oh, cool.
And then the system, like all these little points are showing, okay, so here's Rancho Cucamonga. There's 26 available trailers at this location. And then as you click on it, it will expand even further. And then it gives you this level of detail as far as like how confident are we? It's 100% confident. It's available and empty because it shows a load sensor, and it's been sitting for 5 days, and it's 4.3 miles from the driver.
Cool.
So this would be the trailer we're sending there first. And then when we send this solution, it gets removed. So we're not sending 2 drivers after 1 trailer.
I was going to ask.
That's great.
We don't have 5 guys going for the same one, man, because that is, look, it's always a race between us and the day cab guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, and then it just keeps going down, and the confidence gets less as maybe it hasn't reported because, unfortunately, as technology, as it might have got parked under a concrete wall or something. And so it's not picking up any satellite, or maybe the battery died, or whatever the case is. But now at least we have a tool as your support system to send you with confidence that a trailer is available.
Is that accounting for customers like Walmarts and things like that who have to have a certain number of trailers? It's removing them from that pool?
Yeah, great question. Yep. So we have a trailer pool management system as well. And so it will say, okay, this customer needs 40 empties and they have 66. Therefore, there's 26 available.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
and okay, just out of curiosity, with on that same note, so Walmart is a great example of this. They'll say, okay, you can have any trailer that starts with a 5, and 70 or 50 of those 64 trailers, even though they only need 40, start with 22. You see what I'm saying? They like to hoard those in, and they'll grab our brand new trailers and stuff them full of trash and pallets. And they were like, oh, nope, that's storage. And we got to deal with that somehow, Brett. I don't know how, but.
Yeah, I think it's just case by case and just holding some of our customers accountable. Like naturally, it's such a fine line where we have to balance that.
Right.
Because if we're not good to our customers, they give us less loads. But in the same sense, like you can't just hoard trailers. So our drivers are running with, around in circles. And so it's just kind of that balance point where we do charge some of our customers, especially when we understand they're keeping trailers for storage. And then that usually will lead to them releasing the trailer. But yeah, we just at a customer leader level, they would just contact that customer and just have that conversation. But we don't necessarily always know until we're told specifically, or there's another report where we'll see trailers by days dwelled. And so as a trailer starts to dwell, like this one, well, so these are hours. But you might see some that are like 28 days. So if it's been sitting for 28 days, we want to get someone to it and get it removed.
And Ken said, is there a way it can show a trailer red tagged if we just wandering around the yard and notice a trailer with a flat, etc.? I know we can send the macro with a program scan for that macro. Is that factoring into that?
Great question. I don't know, but I'll ask and get back to you. So that's like back office trailer.
And then Blackbeard said, is that something that we can work in? I know we're not going to work in that screen. He's asking, sometimes it takes 20, 40 minutes to get a response back from a macro 10. I'm assuming that's something that someone on the office and support side has to initiate, or is that something that's automated as well through when we send our empty call, for instance?
Yeah. So the end goal is absolutely for you all to have an app that looks just like what you were looking at on your tablet. Cool. And so just, find nearest trailer to me, you hit enter and it will bring up that map. And then it's one of those where then you'll have to select the trailer you're going for so that someone else isn't going to the same trailer. But yeah, that is the goal. I mean, full autonomy is where we need to get to.
Cool. And look, that's just another tool that's going to help in the event of those AB5 type things and all that sort of stuff. If things go horribly wrong at some point or whatever, it's just aids with that just because of, again, that word autonomy.
Yeah.
And Chris is a company driver, getting ready to make the transition sometime in the near future. Love seeing the new tech being beta tested. Can't wait till it all goes live. Absolutely, all of us are in that same boat, I think.
Yeah. Excited to have Chris on.
We need that macro that lets us attach ourselves to an empty. That would be cool.
You can do that by doing. You can do that though by doing a macro 5 and 6.
Really?
Yep. If you redo your arrived at final and do another empty call, it'll attach you to that trailer.
Well, that works if it's at a location you're dispatched to. But
Nope.
if you're no, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a lot of times
Yeah,
when you do
so
the
like
5 and 6,
commonly,
it'll say not within range.
no, because it's a second macro 5 and 6.
Okay. Look at that. Learning stuff.
But
I love it.
yeah, that's
Life is
You
awesome.
guys
awesome.
that you've just been out of OTR land for too long, Charlie.
Hey, true enough.
Yeah.
Look, man. You know, it's that use or lose stuff, and no jokes. I mean, if I don't try this stuff all the time, I absolutely lose touch. So
Ken Kelly agrees. Yeah, 5 and 6, and then 2 goes back to where it was before. You do a 5 and a 6, and it would say, no, the trailer you're talking about is in Rialto, and you're like, no, I'm right in front of it. So at least
right.
now with the reconciliation going hand in hand, I think that's going to flow a lot smoother. So
Nice, and it'll say, "Hey, let's do the query on." Oh yeah, look, it is there now.
yeah,
Yeah,
Cool.
and
I dig it.
Sue, I do that without deadhead orders too, all the time. If sometimes it does not go through, and I can't figure out why. But most of the time, like I'll just drop a trailer, say up in Ogden, Utah, which is 85 miles away from West Valley City. Bobtail down to West Valley City, go home, come back, and go look at the empty line. I do another 5 and 6, and it attaches that trailer to my truck.
Cool.
But there was no deadhead order.
Awesome.
Dana will get me a deadhead order for those miles, which I really appreciate. But it's because as an owner operator, especially sometimes we do stuff that we don't get paid for because we just want to do them, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Like I'm willing to go 80 miles so I can go home. I don't care if it pays me or not. It's
Absolutely.
nice when they do, but I don't require it.
I've done 600. Just saying.
Yep.
Just
So
saying.
Done more than that. Hell, let's be real. I wanted to go to Phoenix. I drove all the way to San Antonio before I ever found a load. Whatever. Let's do it. But whatever. Yeah.
Did we answer confined cookings? So any way to know if a trailer is truly empty beforehand? And so those trailers now with the new system have now the word's escaping me. But
like
it
a
does
load
have
sensor or something.
Thank you. Yep, it has a load sensor to see if it's empty or not. Now, if it had like 3 pallets of garbage, maybe it wouldn't pick up on that. But like if it had some product in it, it would sense that there's something inside the trailer.
Oh, that's cool. I missed that whole part of that thing.
Yeah.
That sounds
So
awesome.
that's where that confidence comes in. Is it empty? Is it available? And is it, near the location? So
even better, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Love me some
What is this?
technology.
Another useful macro would be, is this trailer available and aligned for several trailers? As it is, I have to do one at a time as a message or call in for them. Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the butt too. I feel you. I remember that struggle. Dana, is this one empty? No. Dang it, I'll call you back. Dana, is this one empty? No. Dang it, I'll call you back. Or Dana, I've got 10 trailer numbers ready. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's like, seriously, you need to slow the hell down, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, usually for me, Charles answers. So.
Oh, there's fun. What?
Yeah, and
Sorry.
too, so eventually the tablet will, just as like you're arriving to a location, it says that we see that you're approaching the shipper or you're at the
Right.
shipper. Do you want to do your load call? Yes. Instead of some of the macros, it will say you're near empty trailer that you've selected. Would you like us to attach? So it's going to be more of a yes, it'll pop up to prompt you. And I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know that's on the list of things to do. So
Right, you're
That would be
talking about more automation though. And
yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
I'm afraid. It's tomorrow, y'all. It's gonna be. Brett said it's gonna be tomorrow. Oh wait, no, it's not. You're welcome, Brett.
No,
We can't help ourselves sometimes.
Truly cannot help.
What else do you guys want to talk about before I go? Any other lingering questions out there?
I got nothing. I got nothing. No, I was blank this week, man. I told you.
Dude, what about fuel though? Like,
I'm digging it. What are you talking about? It's awesome.
Guys are making money.
Have
it's
you seen
crazy.
this? Look, I'm gonna hide you for a minute. Look at that. Pow. 0.727. I'm just saying West Coast is 9. We dropped 0.007 on the fuel surcharge, but we had the same drop last week, and I think pretty soon it's actually going to start turning back around again. That's my belief. And I'm happy with it staying right
Yeah.
here personally. It's rough for the country, but it's great for us.
Dude, so that if an owner averages 7.5 miles per gallon and runs 2,000 miles a week loaded, they pay like $12 for
Yeah,
fuel.
it's look, most
Yep.
of our guys are
Most of us get
making
better than
money
that.
on the most of us are making money to put fuel in our tanks, Brett.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Good for you
I've
guys.
been running as an owner operator at Swift for 14 years, and even in 2008, this fuel didn't get this crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
So
whatever's going on, Charlie and I try to watch the news, but we're not economists, so
yeah. Just keep
uh,
it going. I mean, it's for you guys, it's you're making money. So I
but I
just,
mean, even on the con data, it's we're still making money on. Stop it, Jeff. I saw your face. We're still making money on the fuel surcharge because it's just that good. I mean, honestly, God, it's just that good. I don't know of another company out there that is running as high a fuel surcharge as what we've been running. I ask people all the
don't
time.
tell him that.
Well, it's true. And because I ask people all the time, like, hey man, what are you making over there? And I got a guy over at Ari Garrison. I'm like, what are you making over there? He's like, well, I don't know, somewhere between 70 and 74. They don't give me a number. I'm like, the hell are you talking about, man? Mine's contractual. I know what it's going to be based on these factors. And I pull up that list. I get a report from EIA every week straight to my email. And about 5:15, boom, email blows up. And I'm like, yeah, here's the fuel surcharge. And I know what it's going to be for the next week. And from what I've been seeing, we're doing better than most. And I think that is a huge selling point. And it's becoming an even greater selling point right now because the fuel is so high and the surcharge is what it is. That I think we're attracting people just based on that alone. I know that I've piqued interest in quite a few people that have said, holy crap, really? Your surcharge is that high? He's like, ours was 70 cents. I talked to a guy. He's like, yeah, I'm getting 50 cents. I'm like, damn, man, that's
yeah.
kind of
And
brutal.
I think some folks forget about the portal as a tool as well. It does have a
Right.
fuel index and fuel at each terminal, what the costs are, and keep using that as a resource if it works for
And
you.
that's what
So
we tell people. We're like, look, find the best price, whether it's on the fuel card that we use on the outside, whether it's the com data at some of the
Terminals,
smaller,
whatever.
the terminals and some of the terminals are, I mean, God, I hit fuel last week. I think it was $1 less than everything out in the wild at
yeah,
Ocala. And I was like, yep, that's where I'm fueling. Pulled in there on fumes and topped that joker off, man.
Yeah,
And ran the hell out of that at 55. I'm just saying. And
yeah, and one of the things I've been pointing out too, Brett, that you guys can use as a recruiting thing is, so my wife, right, is at home with the 3 kids that are still at home and taking kids to school and doing this and doing that. And that gas price in Utah has gone up 30 cents in the last 30 days. And so what do? I'm like, well, do you need more money? Because I've got more money. The fuel
right.
surcharge is paying me more money. So let's just put that at the house so that so the reports that came out today was that the core inflation rate right now is at 8.1%. That's affecting everything, right? But this fuel surcharge is acting as a really good hedge for our families.
It absolutely is.
Because inflation is kind of insane right now, but we really, if for those of us that pay attention, it's not affecting us owners.
Right.
My wife and I were talking the other day. If I was still working at the phone company and making $30 an hour, I'd still be making $30 an hour. It doesn't go up just because the price of the loaf of bread went up. So it's a really it's really beneficial to us the way our business is structured
As long
with
as we
the
treat it right
surcharge.
and pay attention.
yeah. There's some other questions that came up.
Oh, my bad. I missed them. I was on the wrong screen. Let's see what we get. Before you go, Brett, will you? Sorry, I just caught that one. Talk about the projections for freight. Can
Yeah,
you do that?
somewhat. I mean, really, the projections are going to be June's going to be great, especially to the third and fourth week of June. There's a ton of freight that was stuck in China that's coming across. I mean, and you guys can read on that as well. But what we're planning for is a very good June and July. Naturally, everything ramps up before the 4th of July and it gets a little quiet. Same with Memorial Day. It's all these sales and specials that you see at the big box stores. That's where everyone's going to be ramping up. So yeah, buckle down for a good June and July, and I think onward from there. but it could change. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, I would be ready for that. I would say the good story is that as far as like load for load, we're not any less than we were as far as load volume. It's just the load of variation. A lot of what we loved having these past couple of years are those Ross loads that go cross country, and
Right.
so Ross and Marshalls and TJ Maxx and all those companies had less freight coming in, but we should see some more of that coming across. So, my advice would just be still take freight, and it might be shorter length of haul, but you're still going to make a ton of money on it, and it'll get back to where it was.
Chris had a question. What do you recommend for prospective contractors get in order before making the transition? We actually addressed this earlier with him, and Chris would like your opinion, thoughts on it, I suppose.
Yeah. So as far as like getting their business in order before starting a business?
I think just the general, what should I get going? What steps should I take before I make this leap going from the company into the contractor
Yeah.
side?
Yeah, I would say, well, two things. There's a company like Contractors Corner that will give you advice on how to prepare your business. There's also ATBS, which a lot of folks use for their accounting purposes. They
Right.
also have good business advice as far as how to prepare and what to prepare for. But as a general rule, I mean, you should have at least a few weeks, I would say 2,500 to 5 grand saved up so that you can prepare yourself in case you start and then something goes awry in the first couple of weeks, right? What's nice now is we have 6 weeks of no initial payment. So you're going to have a runway of 6 weeks without a truck payment. And so that's going to give you a nice cushion, but still be prepared to have some money in the bank, and make sure that your personal expenses aren't going to weigh your profit margins. I think that to me is when I sit with a future owner and they have 5 grand worth of expenses every month, and then you ask them, well, how many miles do you think you're going to run each week, or what do you want to do? And it's like, well, I want to be an owner to run Monday through Friday, be home on the weekends. And it's like,
I got an F450 and 4 Harleys that I'm
yeah,
paying for.
and a
But I'll
brand new
say
boat.
this
Yeah.
too, because this has come up. So when you go to ATBS, Swift does have a thing with them where you can talk to them before you lease a truck, and they'll go over your finances. And I've had several people say, "Well, their numbers have to be off." Well, no, they're not, because what ATBS does is they look at how many miles you need to run to break even, including what you need to pay your household expenses.
hmm
So when they tell you you need 2,000 miles a week, that's to make your house payment. That's not just the business expenses. That's
Yep.
everything is what they are talking
Right.
about.
They'll give you your break even. So they'll say, okay, you need to run 1,700 miles a week in order to break even. So everything above that is going to be profit. And
Right.
it's sometimes beyond me that after like a month, they forget about what that break even point was. But that should be your goal. Like, okay, how much profit do I want to make every week?
Right.
And then put that up on the board. Speak with your support system and your owner operator consultant and say, look, Sue, I need to run 2,100 miles a week. And if you can give me more, great. If I tell you to stop, then we'll back off and I'll go home. But
Right.
yeah,
And Jeff and I break down those numbers differently than ATBS does. I mean, we do get into the personal side. We don't dip into your personal numbers, but we do explain to you how these numbers from the business side will be useful for your personal side. And so we take a slightly different approach on that. It tends to scare people off the way ATBS does it for whatever reason. I don't know. Honestly, it's been so long since I talked to them from that point of view.
I just think it really boils down to people don't understand where they're getting that break even number from,
Right.
because they
Yeah.
don't do a great job of explaining that.
Right.
So, because Brett, when we talk about break even, we're talking about how much money does the truck eat every week.
Yeah.
So, like without a truck payment, I can tell you, man,
Right.
it's insanely low.
Yeah.
If I turn the key on and move a load, I'm in profit
In profit.
because I
Might
don't
not
have
be
a
enough
truck
to cover
payment.
your bills, but it's profit.
But yeah. So like between 1,800 and 3,000 miles is what I like to run.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a really wide gap, but that 1,800 mile number is there for a reason. I have to do 1,800 miles a week to make my mortgage payment, put gas in my car, and feed my kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything beyond that, that's what we're going to use and fly the entire family down to Texas at Christmas.
Exactly.
You know?
That's awesome.
All right,
So,
guys. Brett, thanks so much for being here, man. I know you got to go. It's been a long day for you, and we appreciate you popping in, buddy, even though you were an hour late, whatever, on the phone. But look, you're welcome anytime, man. You just pop in. I send you the link just about every week just for
Yeah.
fun, just to see if you're going to pop in random, because I think it'd be funny every now and then. But
Until you're
whatever.
like, yeah, you can come in, but make sure you don't come in during this time because we got some other folks that you don't want to be a part
Look,
of. And
look,
but
you know,
at least
hey,
you're a heads up about it. I'm like,
you know
okay,
what I
cool.
mean?
That would have been
Yeah.
awkward. I'm sitting there like, I don't know who this person is, but what are
Right.
you talking
You'd
about?
actually like that guy. It was awesome. But
Yeah.
anyhow, I actually think it would be interesting to see you guys talk together, just because I think that you might have some questions that maybe we haven't thought of, just from the corporate side versus this and that, and I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe you guys can talk about other stuff and come
No,
out with
I think
some
I
cool
would
plans,
just lean on the
bigger, better
fact of,
things, you know.
yeah, if I was an independent contractor, would I sign up for that? And I would absolutely. Anything that's
know.
going to help your business and put more money in your pocket, why wouldn't you? So
And just so you know, we don't tell people don't use Condata. We say use the best price available to you that's going to make you the most profit for your dollar. I mean, and that's all we do. I mean, and look, I've been on using Condata for what, the last 2 weeks, because look, I'm not gonna lie, Vegas was rough, and I spent too much money in Vegas. So yeah, I haven't been able to load my fuel car because I was irresponsible.
yeah,
Oh my
sounds like
God. So,
fun.
but oh, we had a blast. I'm just saying. But yeah, it was expensive, and I lost my tail. Something fierce. But
But that's a
but I
good,
have those tools.
yeah. And so someone asked that, like, what should I prepare for? Like, if you had enough to cover your fuel for a month, and then therefore you could take 2 weeks of that and sign up for one of those prepaid cards
Oh,
that you get,
absolutely.
then I would recommend that. I mean,
Right.
you're starting off your business on the right foot. There's just some folks that are, yes, you qualify and everything else, but one misstep, maybe your truck goes down or you need to take a week off, and now you can't be, too far backwards. But appreciate that combined cooking. Trucker Dan gave a shout out too. Always a blast to be on the
Right.
show,
Trucker
guys.
Dan, Trucker
Come
Dan.
on, Trucker Dan.
But Brett, thanks so much, buddy, and we'll cut you loose, and we'll stop throwing questions at you, man. We
Cool.
appreciate you, and thanks so much for being here, man.
One of us needs to get back to work.
Right?
See
Oh
you
crap!
guys.
I got to cut Jeff loose too. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this, guys. I forgot Brett. Jeff still has miles to run this evening. He's like, man, come on, let's go. It's been 2 hours, and holy crap, it has been 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 4 seconds. So guys, I'm not even gonna ask you if you got any more questions, because we just can't flip them in here today. And I think I like that better.
No.
Hey now. But whatever. So yeah, Rose, you got anything you want to throw at anybody? You want to say any magical words?
I'm good.
You better quit playing that freezing game. Jeff, how about you, buddy? You got anything?
No, not today.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you for being here. Hey, you know what? If you like our fuel surcharge report and like knowing that information, if you like what you're seeing on these videos and want us to continue doing this stuff, do me a favor, please. Will you go click that darn thumbs up button on the YouTube? You're on YouTube right now. It's on the screen. Just click the little thumb. Come on. Oh, look at my blister. I was doing man work yesterday and today. I'm just saying, I got them on both thumbs, whatever. Anyhow, so hey, give us a thumbs up. Seriously. We had 14 people when I asked for this last week, and we got 10 thumbs up. And I'm like, what happened? Whatever, guys. If we're not doing what you need, let us know. Reach out. Say, hey, this is not what I want. This is what I need. This is what we need. So by all means, please get out there and click on those thumbs up and subscribe and all that stuff, and share the group and the channel with people so that we get more people in here, and it'll help us get out there and reach more people. You guys, thank you so much. It means a great deal to us that you tune in every week. Get out there, make some money, and be safe, y'all. And we'll see you here next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Contractors Corner Consulting Group. Thanks for being here, guys.